right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, here in downtown Vancouver today. Got a rally right out front of the, what is it, it's a doctor's office. Let's make sure we're actually live. All right, looks like I got 5 people tuned in so far. Over 250,000 subscribers, and I'll probably get like a couple of views. But we're going here live on this particular platform here today because this is where the people need to hear some of this stuff the most. Now, I'll show you what I'm looking at so far. There's maybe about 100 people up there so far, or so, and we have some big name speakers today. We got Maxime Bernier is in the house, and Bill Vander Zalm. If you don't know who he is, he's a former premier of British Columbia. And I've interviewed him a couple of times about the deep state and about COVID. Check this out. This huge Justice for the Vaccinated bus rolled up. Would you look at that?
You have COVID. Again, I said, no, I do not have COVID, and he walked around with this off. A few minutes later, I got up to go pee, and I closed the curtain. After I got back into bed, the nurse came in, aggressively glaring at me, and pulled the curtain back. And this was just the treatment for the next 6 days at St. Paul's Hospital. A couple of hours later, I was transferred up to the COVID floor. I was there for 6 days waiting for my life. Don't know why I'm getting emotional, sorry. I had to constantly say, no, you're not putting me on a respirator. No, I'm not taking the PCR test. No, I'm not taking the fat checker for COVID information. No.
Dan.
I don't have COVID over and over again for 6 days. On Thursday evening, somebody snuck me in special water. That was one of the things that helped Trump when he was sick in the hospital. This definitely helped my health in there, and I was grateful for the friend that snuck it in. It was like we were in a spy movie on the phone talking back and forth to each other to see if the nurse was going to pick up the package, which was a special water. A nurse finally came down and picked it up.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, you too, for sure.
This was the doctor who was dealing with in St. Paul's Hospital. Would constantly ask me this and that.
Yeah, he's right there.
At one point, she said, if you get worse, we're going to put you on a respirator. And I said, no. And she said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, I will discharge myself out of the hospital. And she said to me, well, you'll just die at home anyways. And turned around and walked out of the room.
Nice.
Not do anything about it.
How the hell could
We were calling
anybody
him
treat
a
somebody
human
like
rights
this?
oppressor. He's been called a human rights violator. This is where I'm from.
On Saturday
Are you
morning,
sticking
he said
around
it wasn't
today?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, yeah, we'll
You're actually me, Jen.
Cool.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, we'll talk more when I'm done my live stream.
For
too.
sure.
Yeah.
They said that it needed to be up
Hey
around
man, how are you?
94.
Good to see you.
I thought, F this, and got up and started doing breathing exercises without my oxygen, standing up and sitting down, walking around, and then they checked my vitals and they were 94. I was able to go home. Boy, was I happy. Dr. Gilly seemed disappointed on how well my vitals were. She told me that I needed to stay home. I needed to take these disgusting pills, which I never took. She said, you need to take them at least till Friday. She continued to treat me horribly because I wasn't vaccinated. This doctor was the worst experience I ever had, so I thought. I have skin cancer on my forehead, and on January 26th, I went to a plastic surgeon in West Van. Dr. Morris treated me horribly because I wasn't vaccinated. Or no, sorry, I went there, and the staff at the front desk said I couldn't come in because I wasn't mask exempt, or wearing a mask. I walked home from West Van
Hey. All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, again, we're in downtown Vancouver. We're on Howe Street, just out front of it's the doctors and physicians office. Here, let me get a shot of the sign. Because sometimes people catch these live streams and then they come straight on down. So here we are.
And when I told him it was none of his business, he said, well, I'm not going to touch you anyway because you're not vaccinated.
The College of
You don't wear a
Physicians and
mask,
Surgeons.
And you're not going to die, it's just skin cancer. But
And
whatever happened to these doctors' bedside manner? So
we have this huge Justice for the Vaccinated bus.
the next time was
And we also have some
I had another appointment with a different plastic surgeon.
some speakers
And
today,
this was on Broadway,
like
and this doctor,
Maxime Bernier
I can't remember his last name, was,
and
telling me where to sit as soon as I went into the
Bill Vanderzam and a bunch of others. Look at the back of this bus here. I don't know if the image is flipped or if you can read all that stuff, but pretty cool that this is getting so much visibility. All right, we got about 150 people tuned in right now with only 56 thumbs up. That doesn't add up, guys. Smash that like button. Share this stream. Let people know we're going to be live for a little while here. I didn't bring my battery pack, unfortunately, so I'm gonna go as long as I can with the battery. But we'll see. Thank you, Catherine O'Connell, for the thumbs up. We're up to almost 80 of them now. Still doesn't quite add up, guys. Smash that like button. Again, I would rather be, live on other platforms than this particular one, but this is where the majority of people who need to hear this type of information are. And again, we're in downtown Vancouver. There's a rally. It's probably about a couple hundred people here. Media is going to say there's about a dozen, but I'll show you exactly what's going on. So we got a lot of speakers lined up for today.
And I just want people to stand in and speak their truth because there's a lot of people that aren't doing that, and we need people to speak up and tell us and others and people that aren't aware what's going on. So please stand in your truth and speak.
Bernier, there's Maxine. See if we can get a follow-up
All right.
interview with them a little later.
What I like about people that come out and share their truth and share their story is we get to hear it from the people that hasn't had the mainstream media distort the message. I'm thankful for that. So we have Trina Rose coming up to share a vaccine injury story, and let's, thank her for her braveness to come out and share, people that have injuries. Sometimes they suffer in silence. If you've listened to Sean Muldoon, he had a very different story about support from family and friends. So come on over, Trina.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, everybody. I was vaccine injured in 2008 after my work recommended that I take the Twinrix vaccine, which is the Hep A shot. And when I asked afterwards if it could have been from the vaccine, I was told it definitely couldn't be. And I was naive at that time, and I believed my doctor. What followed is years of being gaslighted by doctors.
So we're not going to get a chance to catch every single speech and talk today. There's a lot. It's going to be from 1 till 4 o'clock. But I certainly want to stick around for to hear what Bill Vanderzam has to say. And Maxime Bernier is always interesting as well. So we'll stick around and see what he has to say as well. Now, as you know, this particular platform already has algorithms designed to block this type of information from being seen, and in fact, it will get red flags triggered, might even be taken down. So if you can, back up the stream, please do so. Again, if you're just tuning in, guys, we're here at a rally in downtown Vancouver. We're going to be here for the rest of the day. And I like to keep an eye on... Look at this. This lady's calling for the cops to arrest this guy because he's standing there with a sign. So this is where they have the street blocked off, and the rally is just up there. And let's get a shot of this guy's sign. I wonder how many honks he's getting. Are you getting many honks today?
What's that?
Are you getting many honks?
Not a lot, because quite frankly, I think a lot of people are thinking maybe it's illegal, or there's police here, and
Right.
You're gonna keep quiet.
I heard the one lady saying, "Arrest this guy."
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but her mask was under her chin.
of course.
I quite often, whether it's a middle finger or whatever, if I have the opportunity, I'll ask them where their mask is. And that just irritates them to no end.
Right. Yeah.
Virtually nobody's wearing a mask anymore. And even if they are wearing one, I'll ask them why they're not wearing 6, right? Because that's much safer than just one.
True. What do you think this is coming from? There must be something going on TV. I don't watch television, but I assume that they're ramping things up again.
What's that?
I assume they're ramping things up again because I am seeing people in masks. We're like year 3 into this.
I know. Yeah, it's tragic. I really don't know what's coming. Only Trudeau and his puppet masters, Klaus Schwab and Yuval Harari and Bill Gates. And
Yeah.
So they know what's coming, but
Yeah.
they haven't told us yet.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to get uglier before it gets better. A lot of people might say, why are you doing this? Or the mandates have been dropped. Well, no, they haven't. They've been, and I quote, suspended.
Right.
To come back another day and...
Yeah. So you think maybe it's a little bit of the calm before the storm or the eye of the hurricane?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, great. Thanks so much for talking to us. Let's get a shot of the other side. What does that say? What some call a conspiracy theory, I call a spoiler alert. Nicely done.
Thank you. Do you have a YouTube channel or something?
Yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now. It's Press for Truth.
Press for Truth.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
.ca.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Well, you have any more direction?
All right. That was a good sign. Oops. Sorry. See, it's always good to go down and chat with these guys. All right. This rally is starting to fill up a little bit. Look at that. We got the Justice for the Vaccinated bus. And Howe Street sectioned off right here in front of the College of, what was it? Physicians and Doctors? Brighton, on your way? Yeah, man, get on down here. Howe Street, just out front of the mall, right out front of the College of the Physicians and Doctors. Just look for the big Justice for the Vaccinated bus. Thanks, New York resident 2021. Glad you're liking it. I'll go around and interview some more people as well. Sometimes I got to stay away from the stage because they play copyrighted music and it could potentially get the stream shut down. So sometimes in between speakers they blast music and it'll get the stream taken down, but gotta watch out for that.
We definitely have somebody cool coming up here. He's pretty well known here in Vancouver. Ian Glass, come on up, bro.
Who do we have here?
Hi. There you are. Yeah. I get your phone number.
Sorry. Dan.
Dan, yes. And
Yeah,
you're the Honorable Brian that time.
I what?
You interviewed Brian. That was your.
Hello, Vancouver!
Yeah. Thank you.
How's everyone doing today? I'm gonna do something silly to open. I like to do an impression. You should know this impression has not been approved by any third-party fact checker. The Biden Ministry of Truth, and you think it's funny, at any point in time, you are horrible white supremacists, fascists, and Trudeau will freeze your bank account. Viewer discretion is advised.
That is quite the outfit.
Hi, I'm Tony Felton. My fellow Canadians and Americans, thank you so much for the most amazing 2.5 years to flatten the curve. As COVID continues to be nothing but a worse than average flu, I want to direct your irrational fear towards monkeypox. I want to remind everyone, don't think about nutrition or early treatment. Just wear 3 masks, live in fear, get vaccines that don't work, and sanitize everything like a crazy person. I'd like to remind you to sanitize your hands as often as you can, okay? Sanitize all of your other orifices, except your eyes. Wash them with soap and water. Okay? I'd like to remind everyone something that's really useful for dealing with this pandemic. Take a banana and sanitize the banana, okay? Do not use personal lubricant, okay? There is no double-blind placebo study for personal lubricant. You need to use hand sanitizer only. You could try eating the banana. You could try focusing on nutrition or early treatment, but I wouldn't recommend doing those things. Just put bananas in your ears and try to ignore the rising authoritarianism that I am directly creating in North America. Okay? Here we are. It's been 2.5 years of following the science. Okay, we're following the science. And remember, I am the science. Okay? I'm not a megalomaniac. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not a liar, and I'm not a crook. I am the science. Okay? Very soon, I know we have COVID fatigue, but we will have a vaccine soon with the final COVID variants, which of course are authoritarianism, communism, and Marxism. Thank you. And whatever you do, whatever you choose to do not, I repeat, do not read this book. Tony Fauci, your Tommy retirement will not distract and will not prevent a full-on investigation into the horrifying corrupt policies that you have put us through over the past 2.5 years.
Come on!
As a citizen, we will not allow you to plead the fifth and play like you didn't know exactly what you were doing. To the vaccine companies who committed fraud and made a vaccine that they knew would not work and knew had risk of significant harm. To the Vaccine Advisory and Biologics Committee who greenlit it based on politics and not based on science, our eyes are on you. To our institutions who are obviously in bed with pharma, we are holding you to account. Legacy college physicians and surgeons, you hear that? No?
Well, that was a funny little performance. Again, we're going to take some periodic little breaks throughout the day to break up some of these speakers. There's going to be a lot of speakers here today, all day. We're down on Howe Street, right in front of the College of Physicians and Doctors. How is the bus being funded? I'm not sure. It's a good question. I did hear... Hello. I did hear somebody, the organizer on the speaker explaining where the money's coming from and how it, goes into things. So if you go back to the beginning of the stream, you might be able to catch that, the audio. Here is just where they have the street sectioned off. And this guy's trying to get people to honk in support. I was talking to him a little bit earlier. You can head back and check that out. Getting some honks there. There we go. There's some honking and support. So again, guys, we got Maxime Bernier, leader of the People's Party, is going to be speaking today. We got Bill Vanderzam, former Premier of BC. If you haven't seen my interviews with Vanderzam, check them out. He was so nice to invite me into his home a couple of times to have, a really good in-depth conversation. We did that years back, and then I followed that up maybe last year, or maybe it was 2020. I don't know. It was right in the thick of COVID-19 '84, and got his views on how it's basically a system of communism that they're setting up on the inside, really. Really fascinating interview, guys. If you haven't seen it, just go to my website, pressfortruth.ca, and do a search for his name, Bill Vanderzam, and you'll find the videos. So check this out. If you're just tuning in, please share this stream. We'll be live for a little while. Got a bunch of speakers today. A lot of people are probably asking themselves, why are people doing this? I mean, aren't the mandates, lifted? Didn't they just ease up on the restrictions? And yes, but we've always known they can only push it so hard, and that they didn't go about doing all this just to, easily give our rights back so easily. We've essentially been conditioned for the next one to come, and when it does, it might be. Hey.
My name is Nancy Gurney. I've been living now for 27 years. I just pressed charges for assault, bodily harm against
let's just get Kevin Slater up here, Dr. Kevin Slater.
For the city of Vancouver, my employer for 27 years. I have a process hearing in the Provincial Court of Vancouver, 222 Main Street on October 14th at
Good afternoon, everyone.
Room 510. I have also pressed charges in the past.
Thank you for inviting me back. I do so appreciate Marcel and for organizing these events.
Extortion.
Are you okay with being on the? Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Creating this opportunity.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah. Come over here. Tell me. Yeah.
Why not? I'd like to get the message out. We know that Legacy Media over there.
Yeah, I think the audio's better when we flip the camera as well. So we'll go like this. So yeah, tell us that once more about what you're going through right now.
Okay, so I had filed a private information in the Provincial Court of Vancouver on Main Street on October 4th for assault causing bodily harm against the Director of Mail Operations for the City of Vancouver, Jen Gall. And I laid a private information for Section 267B, which is contrary to the Criminal Code of Canada. it's assault causing bodily harm. I have a process hearing on October 14th at 222 Main Street, the Provincial Court of Vancouver, in room 510, to discover whether process should issue for this assault charge causing bodily harm. But also, I had filed 3 separate charges in the past this year for extortion, intimidation, and violations under the Genetic Non-Discrimination Act against Jen Gall, the Director of Mail Operations for the City of Vancouver. And I swore out those charges in the Judge Burgess's courtroom, and Judge Burgess also told me that she was logging my evidence, my significant evidence, into the court. Evidence which included those medical studies we know which prove that reverse transcriptase does happen, and that the experimental gene editing modified mRNA injections do in fact get into the nuclei of the cells. And so therefore it is by definition gene therapy, which means Pfizer's buying a monopoly on gene therapy. So anyway, I just want people to know that Canada, I have been on an unpaid suspension from Canada Post since August 17th, when the Vancouver Police, on the orders of Director Jen Gall, violently assaulted me in my place of work, where I had a lawful right to be, and caused nerve damage, which is unresolved in my left arm to this day. The one officer who I believe is a psychopath, perhaps a detective, I'm not sure about the badge numbers, but I think 6008 and 6108, the partner, I'm not sure which is which, hurt me and was relentlessly screaming. He paraded me in front of all of my coworkers in my place of work. 27 and a half years delivering mail in the city. I'm a good employee. This does not have anything to do with my work. And so there is no mask mandate. There is no provincial mandate, and there is no federal mandate. Canada Post falls under the federal jurisdiction. So on August 17th, 2022, when my employer, Canada Post, demanded that we put these MK Ultra fascist Nazi symbolism masks back on, I said, no, I will not. And Jen Gall, the Director of Mail Operations for the City of Vancouver, called the Vancouver Police, and I was violently assaulted and injured.
Brutal. Man, at Canada Post, I've had some of the pretty bad experiences with even just trying to collect my own mail. And to my surprise, yeah, all the employees there have been forced to wear the mask. And are you saying, is that to this day, or this was?
It had, they had suspended it just a few months ago. It was, we had it longer than BC had, and we were still having to wear it for a couple of months in, because whatever, while BC was able to not wear it in their workplaces, Canada Post employees still had to, and so it was suspended, I believe, I don't know, late spring, early summer. So we only had a break for maybe a month or whatever, but many of us had been put on illegal leave without pay for refusing the experimental gene editing injection, and refusing to disclose our genetic characteristics, which is also contrary to the Genetic Non-Discrimination Act. So on 3 counts, the testing, compelling someone to share their genetic characteristics. Look, if you take the Vaxxer gene edited, so this is genetic characteristics. You know, are you gene edited or are you not gene edited? And you, under the Genetic Non-Discrimination Act, it is illegal to compel an employee to disclose their genetic characteristics. So that's the violation. But the gene editing injection itself, forcing us to take it, mandating us to take an experimental gene editing injection, is completely illegal.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you very much for the great work you're doing. I saw you in Ottawa during the convoy, and I cried, you know, when I saw the courageous Canadians standing up.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for your excellent journalism, your real journalism, unlike the mainstream media, who should stand trial first in the Nuremberg 2 trials. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thanks so much. All right. Wow. You meet so many interesting people out here. You know, her employer, in case you missed that, working for Canada Post, told her she had to put on a mask, and when she refused to do so, they called the cops, and then they assaulted her and gave her nerve damage in her arm. Unreal, you know. And these stories go on all the time. You're certainly not going to hear about it from the mainstream media, but let's go get another look at what's going on here.
said,
Big crowd
we
now.
will not be told what we must put in our bodies in order to work or to travel. How would you like to have someone like Danielle Smith, the Premier of the province of British Columbia? The other thing that Danielle Smith did when she was running for leadership is she said, if I win this leadership contest and become Premier, the other thing that I'm going to do two things. I am going to investigate the Alberta Health Services Division, their equivalent to the Ministry of Health, and I'm going to make some heads roll because they've done an atrocious job of managing the pandemic in Alberta. And she was also going to go after the Alberta College of Physicians and Surgeons and kick some butt there.
You look awesome. That's awesome.
There he is.
Let's talk about California.
Yeah, I know, it's been a while.
Last week in California, their woke governor...
Oh, you do? You checked my Rumble? Thank you. That's awesome. All right, dude.
A decree which basically
Yeah, man, good. Good job. Nice turnout. Yeah.
Who spread misinformation and speak out against the public
let me get out of
narrative in
here.
California can lose their medical licenses. And he signed that into law. It's an absolutely atrocious law. Do you know what we have in BC? We actually don't even need law for our college to discipline us for speaking out or speaking misinformation.
Good, man.
They can come after us just because they want to. They don't even need a law to do it.
All right, so in case you don't know, that was Bill Vander Zalm. He was the Premier of BC from 1991 to I don't even know, 2000 or something. It was a long time. It was a significant amount of time that he was Premier of British Columbia. And boy, oh boy, if he were still, at the helm, things would be an awful lot different here in British Columbia because the man is very, very awake to the issues. I probably shouldn't get too far away because it looks like he was on deck. It's probably going to be going up to speak soon. So let me check my battery. All right, 70%. We'll see how long that lasts us here. But once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, we're here in downtown Vancouver. It's a rally out front of the College of the Physicians and Doctors. They got this big, huge Justice for the Vaccinated bus. Martin says I'm lagging. I think there's probably a lot of people streaming here. The connection might be a little flogged. But I'm hoping to catch Vander Zalm's speech soon, hopefully. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys, if you haven't done that yet. Subscribe. And in particular, subscribe to me on some other platforms, not here. Go over to my BitChute or my Odyssey or my, hey, Odessa. Hey, how's it going?
We're no better. The Canadian Medical
Are you live? We're both live, nice. Yeah, good to see you.
They've been bought and sold, and they
got Odessa in the house.
Government and big pharma tell them to push as
How's
well.
your ribs?
Honestly, I still feel it. It's when I sleep and when I drive, like the way the seatbelt.
Yeah.
I am totally looking forward to hearing a young man, Grant Charback, talk for a little while. He's from Port Coquitlam. Anyone from Port Coquitlam today?
Seeing you on videos.
Ben is an awesome 16-year-old freedom fighter. I am so excited to hear Ben speak almost as much.
Okay, let me get a shot.
Looking forward to hearing former Premier Vander Zalm and Max Bernier. It's an exciting afternoon. Before I close, I want to say, talking about lawsuits, physicians and nurses in BC, we're taking Bonnie to court. Our court hearing is, right? Vaccine mandates for healthcare workers have to be quashed. They have to go. On November 28th, our petition for judicial review is scheduled to be heard in BC Supreme Court. This takes a lot of time and a lot of money. Amongst a small group of physicians and a larger group of nurses, we're trying to support this. We do need help, we need support, and we do need funds. Please check out our website, CSSEM, Canadian Society for Science and Ethics in Medicine. That's cssem.org. Check it out, and if you're able to support us in our legal battles to quash vaccine mandates, thank you very much.
All right.
Before we get on to any of the other speakers, I want to thank everybody who has stepped up here today for us and spoke. Dr. Kevin Slater, he's got my vote. I think Adrian Dicks needs to get out. And
Heck yeah.
let's get some credible people up there calling the shots. So I'm going to let Marcella do this because she's pretty excited to introduce our next speaker.
Well, I'm really excited to have an ex-premier of our province here. Aren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bill Van
I mean, wouldn't it be great if we actually had some currently sitting politicians up here speaking against the baloney they're pulling on us? Come on. So we've had Chia van der Zam speak at several of our events. Today, we have her dad, and we're so excited to have him here today. Mr. Bill van der Zam, please come.
This guy's great. Crowd loves him.
Well, guys, believe this? Come on, Bill van der Zam, one more time! One more time! All right!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time, and obviously most of you may not have been born yet during those days, but they were different days. We didn't see what we're having to experience today. But I just had to come because I think it takes a lot of courageous people.
Yeah, former Premier of British Columbia.
To our country, probably the world. So thank you for being here, and thank you for what you're doing, and I'm just contributing my little bit. I'm also very impressed by people like Maxime Bernier. You're here someplace. A politician that actually gets up and speaks out and asks the questions, and I think that's important. I'm also tremendously impressed by the doctors that took a chance in their career to do what they did. I think they're wonderful, and I think we should really stick with them, congratulate them, and fight for them. Thank you for being here. And you know, it's a lot of people. I have a friend who's been a promoter of the vaccine and kept telling me I couldn't see him unless, like him, I took 4 or more shots. I didn't take the shots, but nor did most of my family. That's great. But you know what? He phoned me just 2 days ago and said he was terribly ill. I couldn't see him again because he was caught by the COVID. So all the many people I meet, the only ones that haven't been caught by the COVID are people like myself that didn't take the shots. But just in case there are still people that think it's all over, forget it. Fauci made $5 million while all of this was happening in the last year or so, and the pharmaceutical industry made billions of dollars. And unfortunately, money is what drives much of this. And that's what you've got to stop. So thank you for being here and doing what you're doing. But it's not over. It's going to come back again. They're going to find a variant, and they'll start all over again because they're doing too well doing what they're doing at your cost, at my cost, at our cost. So we've got to get out and fight. We've got to stay with what we're doing, and we've got to speak out as often as we can, like the good doctors have done. It takes that. So, you know, the problem is that there's not enough people speaking out. Too many people think it'll all go away one day, no problem. What they're forgetting is that the people that are really moving this aren't so much moving it because of COVID. They have something else in mind. They want to control all of us as much as they can, however they can. And that's dangerous stuff, and it's actually happening. People are sort of giving in, saying, well, the government's doing it, or this particular organization is behind it, they're promoting it, so it must be okay. It's not okay. It's not going to go away. There's a much bigger program behind all of this. Don't let them get to it. We need our truth, we need our privacy, we need our own rights, and not be dictated by the likes of the man in Ottawa. He doesn't care. God bless you all. Keep up the fight. Thank you very much for being here. You're great.
You heard it here first, okay? This is what we're talking about. Compliance is the biggest issue, right? Why did we get into this situation to begin with? It's pretty obvious to me that there are too many people who decided to comply rather than stand up to the narrative. So that's why we're here. All of these brave people, I recognize so many of these faces from back in March of 2020. We were out there, we were making some noise, we were on the blowhorns, we were saying, wake up. And it looks like the narrative is changing. I think people like to stand out and speak for us, for the people. One more time.
Tour across Canada. All right. That was the one and only Bill Vanderzam. Again, he's the former Premier of British Columbia. Guys, if you haven't seen my previous interviews with Bill Vanderzam, be sure to check it out. First time I interviewed him was a few years back. Probably 2015, 2016, something like that. And then he invited me to his house. We got to know each other. I did an interview, and then years later, like 3-4 years later, in the middle of the COVID 1984 scamdemic, I asked him for a follow-up interview, and once again, he invited me into his home for a nice long sit-down interview to talk about his thoughts on COVID 1984. And again, this is the former Premier of British Columbia who laid it all out in this this interview with me. So be sure you guys check that out. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're in downtown Vancouver right now. We got a rally, a lot of speakers going on. Guys, if you do appreciate my efforts to do this and bring you this info, check me out at pressfortruth.ca/donate. I used to get super chats, people contributing there, but I'm demonetized, 100% completely demonetized on this platform. So there's no way for you to chip in here. But if you go to my website, you can certainly do that. So let me get a shot of this bus again in case you haven't seen it yet. This is the Justice for the Vaccinated bus, and we got a couple hundred people here. No doubt the mainstream media is going to say there's about 24, but I'm saying probably about 300 people. And I do believe Maxime Bernier is on deck to speak next, I'm sure. So I'm going to stick a little bit closer to the crowd here, and we'll catch Maxime Bernier's speech as well. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Share the stream. Got Laura Lynn in the house. If you guys are not familiar with Laura Lynn's work, check her out. She's great.
now know and understand our reality in this
I'm not sure if you can hear. Let me know.
that Canadian citizens are dying from genocide.
Crazy people, they're all in demonstrating all the way from Dr. We don't know exactly. And to our Dr. Bonnie Henry,
Yeah, Laura Lynn's great.
One person on average suffered an adverse reaction or death.
So she's doing her thing live on Laura Lynn TV, I believe.
On Canadian citizens. By the time I reached Ottawa, that number rose
Got a really good crowd here, guys.
3 to 4 family members within their extended family were suffering
And we're going to
or adverse reactions.
we're going to stick around, not go too far, and catch Maxime Bernier's speech. Again, we're here on Howe Street. They have it shut down because there's about 300 people here rallying, and a lot of people are saying, you know, what's still bringing you guys out when, you know, the mandates have been lifted. There are very little restrictions, even the masking on planes. But as you'll come to hear a lot of the speakers talking about is the fact that this really is just a calm before the storm. Like Bill Vander Zalm said there, all they really need to do is introduce a new variant, you know, announce a new scary variant, and everybody's already conditioned to jump right back into this thing, you know, really, really quickly and don the masks and get whatever injection they're asked for. So this is why it's important to continue to speak out. That's why I called this stream This Isn't Over.
Go to liberty.com.
Something that I didn't anticipate while I'm traveling is the alternative media. And all of you here with cameras and tripods and equipment and the know-how and the skill set to put this video on a social media site, you guys are going to save us. If anyone here needs instructions or directions going forward, it is get yourself the equipment that you need in order to tell the truth, in order to allow people like me who are not going to shut up. I know that we can network, we can organize, and we can begin to establish an amateur or a alternative media convention within Canada and around the world, because we are the only people that are going to be able to tell the truth. Thank you, Vancouver. Thank you very much.
Well, here's another woman in Vancouver that doesn't need much of an introduction, but Yvonne Cicello. She's a true patriot, true warrior, true supporter of freedom and people who fight for freedom. So we're gonna let her tell you guys a little loophole here, because it could come in handy for all of us.
Yeah, man, good, man. Good to see you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I have a little short story about conviction, faith, and taking action. We've all been challenged over the last 2.5 years, myself included, very much.
So we're going to hold out for
in
his speech.
October of last year, my dad was rushed to hospital. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is going to be interesting. So I'm already stressed because of his situation. And as soon as I got to emergency, they were hassling me about the mask. I said, no thank you, I'm mask exempt and I'm here for my dad. And then, so that night he went through a battery of tests, and then they told me that he had to have immediate surgery the next day. So that's confronting and challenging for everybody. And so, sorry, I'm a little nervous. The next day my dad has surgery, and I go up to the spinal ward because I want to wait for him when he comes out of surgery, because it's traumatic experience for him. Immediately, one of the head nurses,
I was going to get an interview with Bill Vanderzam, but he's going to be swamped.
You can't be here,
with
you don't
people.
have a mask. And I said, I have a mask exemption. And she said, you still can't be here. Then came out the supervisor of the ward, and he said, you can't be here. And I'm like, I'm going to be here because my dad's coming up from surgery and I'm not leaving. What happened was, so I sat myself down. But what happened was is my dad was delayed, and so it got late, so I did end up leaving. But as I was going down in the elevator, for the first time in 2 years, I felt that pang of, oh my gosh, like, am I going to have to comply somehow here? Because I will not abandon my dad. And split second thought, and then I got a God whisper, and he said, find a way. So I got home, didn't sleep that night. I went through the Vancouver Coastal Health website. I went through the BC CDC website, and on both websites they talk about exemptions and where situations where vaccine proof is not necessary. So on the Vancouver Coastal Health website, if you look under visitors to hospitals or long-term care or assisted living, the information's all there. And on the BC CDC website, I looked under essential visits. They consider compassionate care if you're helping somebody with mental well-being, physical well-being. There's all these reasons. So I just want to say that I emailed, and then the other step is, so it's look for your health region, look for your visits, and then look at the BC CDC website, and then go to patient care and email them and call them until you get a yes. So I emailed patient care at about midnight on that night, and in the morning I called them, and within a day I got a message from them saying that I could go see my dad, and I got a call from the spinal ward saying you're free to come see your dad. I want you to know you might get some training.
We got Maxine Bernier on deck. He's going to be speaking next. I'm going to go up there, get back to that same spot. She just finished up her story. Maybe I should stick a little bit closer. If you're just tuning in, guys, we're in Vancouver. There's a rally happening outside of the College of the Physicians and Doctors. Probably got about maybe 300 people or so. And it's a pretty good turnout considering we know the mandates and restrictions have been temporarily lifted here in British Columbia, but these people, as well as myself, are well aware of the fact that this ain't over, not by a long shot. You know, this is just a bit of the calm before the storm. It may come back, you know, in the winter, next winter. It might even be a year or two. But people have been so conditioned to just fall right back in line the moment they introduce some sort of new big, bad, scary variant. And, you know, kudos to all of you who have held out this long. You know, I know a lot of people who are really frustrated that they got coerced into taking this experimental mRNA technology, and you know, they really wish they hadn't. And now those of us who haven't are being treated the same as the people who have, and they're sitting there going, man, I wish I held out as well. So good on you guys if you held out and didn't get coerced into it because of your job or because of, you know, your, wanting to travel or wanting to eat out at a restaurant or whatever it may be. You know, it wasn't easy for those 2 years, 3 years, you know. I wasn't able to go anywhere. Couldn't eat at restaurants, couldn't get my hair cut, but, you know, stay true to my principles. And I know a lot of the viewers here at Press for Truth have done the same. So good on you guys for doing that. Thank you for smashing that like button, guys. Don't forget to check me out at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Again, I used to be able to get super chats from these live streams, but that's not a thing anymore because I'm totally demonetized. I actually could re-monetize this channel, but I won't do it. I'm not going to rely on, you know, Google money in any way, shape, or form. So I like being beholden to you guys, the viewers at Press for Truth. So let's get back up here and we'll see if Bernier is going to be speaking soon. We'll get right up there. Okay, I'm gonna head up there again. So earlier we heard Bill Vanderzam speak, and I wanted to get an interview with him today, but he's going to be swamped now. Everybody wanting to meet him after he spoke here. You know, if you didn't know, he's a former premier of BC, so for him to be coming out and getting vocal and doing speeches again is a pretty big deal. It's pretty cool. Just looking at your comments. Nice shirt, Dan. Like the colors. Thank you. Me too. I like them. It's like voluntarious colors, kind of. So we're just waiting for Maxime Bernier to take the stage. I think he's on deck. Again, guys, if you're just tuning in, rally outside the College of the Physicians and Doctors here in Vancouver on Howe Street. Maybe about 300 people or so. Police have closed off the streets for this rally today. Don't mind the generator. I'm going to walk by. It gets a little noisy, but we're going to go right on up here and get ready for Maxime Bernier's speech.
For ourselves, and then with the collective. It doesn't work otherwise. You can't expect somebody else to save you. They won't. Take your no and just be convicted with it. That what we're dealing with is a charade, an evil charade, and that we will not participate in it. Can I get a just say no? Just say no. Just say no. Stop the mandates. Stop the mandates. Stop the shots. Stop the shots. Just say no. Thank you very much, everybody. All the best. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, I think we got
so
Maxime
guys,
Bernier on deck.
Vonchella, right?
I hope.
So there's your loophole. There's an opportunity for you to check out a website, get your information, and just say no, because that's what they want. They want compliance, united non-compliance. Eh? Let's hear it for Chris Sky too out there. You know, he's in Europe right now. He's headed back here soon. We'll be hosting him on the 23rd at Jack Pool Plaza. Anyhow. Moving right along, I don't see Marcella here right now, but what I would really like to do before it's too late and people start leaving is get a group photo. So if Marcella is out there somewhere, can you start gathering up all of our speakers? People, please work your way here. If you are a scheduled speaker here today, we would like to get a group photo. Maxime Bernier. Let's get up here. Let's get this group photo thing going on before it's too late.
Nathan moves, so I don't know where he is. A little rascal.
So Graham.
Yeah. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Odessa.
Graham, nice
Get
to
up
meet
here.
you too.
Norbert, get up here. Ian. Chris. Where's Marcella? Hurry up. Anybody who's scheduled to speak here today has to get up here today.
It's a lot of speakers.
If Bill Vanderzam is still available, we'd love to have you up here.
Sure, Bill's getting swarmed by fans probably.
You guys just hang on, all right? We don't have everybody yet.
So if you're just tuning in, guys, we're here in Vancouver. This is a rally outside of the College of the Physicians and Doctors. We got Maxime Bernier in the house. We got Bill Vanderzam. We got all these people speaking today. Some of them already have.
Okay,
Some of them
yeah,
still have yet to
Vanderzam's
speak.
still going to work his way over here too. We're still waiting for Marcella. Come on, Marcella. We're going to get a group photo here.
They really want this group photo. No, I guess not. Oh, lucky duck. Oh my gosh. I've got it. Oh, there's Marcella. Yeah, me too.
Is that Marcella?
There's Marcella. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
And there's
Oh, there he is.
Bill
Vanderzam in the house.
Here. Everybody's up here.
Wow.
Is everybody up here? Awesome.
There's a good. Oh, the head back. Oh my God, the Jane Fonda look. Right? Oh, that. Oh, I've never seen that. Okay, and there's the group photo.
Chaya, did you
All
want
right,
to
guys.
get
Well,
a photo?
while they're all posing for pictures, I'll just quickly again bring you up to speed. You know, a lot of people are well aware of the fact that things will be back on. That's why this this video is titled, you know, this isn't over, and indeed it isn't. We're just waiting for Maxime Bernier to take the stage now. And today I was hoping to get some interviews with Bernier and Vanderzam, but maybe today might not be the day. I know these guys are going to be completely swarmed by this crowd as soon as they're done speaking. So, you know, and I've interviewed both of them a number of times. So maybe we'll set that up another time. But yeah, I'll be sticking around for sure. Guys, thanks for smashing that thumbs up button. Continue to share this stream. And I want to get up here and make sure that we're going to catch Bernier's speech here.
What did you do when people were giving away their country? We'll be able to say we were here and this is what we were doing. All right.
Oh.
Our next speaker
apparently I got
is
a shout
amazing,
out.
so he's probably going to be possibly maybe one of the next Maxime Berniers, Bill Vanderzams of the future. Ben Sharback, come on up here and just blow these people away.
Hello, Vancouver. How are we doing today?
Good.
You know, beautiful weather, somehow still sunny in October, but we're here for a purpose. We have some very big names here. Bill Vanderzam, Maxime Bernier, hopefully myself in the future. But we gathered here in a very important building for a very important reason. This is the College of Physicians and Surgeons in Vancouver. What was once one of the gems of the West Coast, one of the greatest cities in North America. Due to these COVID lockdowns, these socialist economic policies we've seen from the NDP and the Liberals, it's fallen off into a degenerated slum in some areas, and the city of Vancouver has been degraded and disrespected by politicians here for years. This great province, this great country, this great city has been sold out by the government, the local government, the provincial government, the federal government. We have been sold out by our own leaders for years. And that's what people like Mr. Van der Zalm and Mr. Bernier have spent their political careers fighting against. They spent their political careers fighting against tyranny, against oppression, and for proper Canadian moral values, traditions that we have upheld in our country since 1867 and before, that our nation is held together under. We went through 2 world wars, a Cold War, an economic depression, an economic recession, many, many things that for weaker countries undid them, that ruined them. But the reason Canada survived is because we had rational leadership and Canadian values and Canadian culture. Not World Economic Forum culture, not Klaus Schwab. Remember, 20 years ago, Alex Jones was saying this, that the globalists in the Great Reset would sell us out, and that they would sell our sovereignty for a cheap dollar. Anthony Fauci made millions. Bonnie Henry and John Horgan made millions. Justin Trudeau made millions. These slimes, these scumbags have done nothing but profit off of us, of our debt, and off of our dollar.
Damn straight.
Every tax dollar, every benefit they get, they have not appreciated, and they have degraded the foundation of this country to the point where we have lost almost everything. But we're not done yet. It's not over till it's over, and despite all of the bad things, the terrible things they enact, we still stand here free and alive. And that truly underneath all of that, underneath all of the tyranny, the oppression, underneath the mask, Canada lives and marches on free. And on top of that, just recently actually, we've had a terrible, terrible action from the Prime Minister, Justin Fidel Castro Trudeau. $105 million. 105 million Canadian dollars to Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum to fund the digital ID program throughout the country, to phase out passports and to phase in QR codes. QR codes that you can only get if you're quote fully vaccinated. This is criminal. And the fact we've allowed our country to fall and degrade to this level is horrible. I'm only 16, but even I remember a time when our country was better. When our country stood for Canadian values, when our country stood against terrorist governments. We're run by a terrorist government. Terrorist officers from the VPD, bless their souls for protecting us, but over in Ottawa in February, in March, when officers, some from this department in this city, went to our capital, in our country, the country of the people, and they beat and shot at us, protesters, Canadians. If you look at this crowd, what do you see? You don't see black or white, you don't see man or woman, you see Canadians. You see proud Canadians bound by a history of justice, strength, and victory. You go to the government, what do you see? You see Jagmeet Singh, you see Justin Trudeau, you see these scumbags, these people who have done nothing for us, who hate us, who despise us, and want to sell us out and ruin our nation, make it another subdivision of Bill Gates, sell our farmland, kill our farms, destroy our economy, ruin our savings, and to take our country and to pillage us. We fought against pillaging, we fought against tyranny, we fought against oppression. In 1939, the Dominion of Canada entered war against Nazi Germany. In 1914, war against the German Empire. We have fought time and time again against authoritarian measures, against authoritarian governments, and against horrible things that they've tried to spell upon our people. And what do we have now? These communists who have taken over our government from the inside, who have taken over the education system, the workplace, the media. These communists and these globalists have seized control of our homeland, and they are attempting to expel us from it. Are you gonna let that happen? No! Exactly. Exactly. The Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has done so many disgusting things. He came here, he taught at a school here, he taught drama, he's an actor. He's good for nothing besides that. And then, now once the tide starts to turn in our favor, specifically thanks to the impact of Maxime Bernier and the People's Party of Canada, the specific political entity, the party that has saved us, really, has given us a banner to fly under. Before that, they were just dissident conservatives. But now, we're a party of the people, by the people, and for the people. And they'll try and disturb us with fake actors. They'll try and put in people who don't have our best interests at heart. Politicians who only appeared once it became politically valuable. Pierre Poilievre, for example. He didn't say a word until after it was profitable, until after the polls showed. He's a pollster politician, and he's done nothing for us until it was profitable. And now people are treating him like the godsend here to save our country. If he really cared about us, he would have been speaking in 2020, not after the convoy. The convoy showed we have strength. They showed we have numbers and we have power, and that our nation has persevered the lockdowns. And they're trying to sell us out once again and cheat us out of a proper governance. You started to see the turning of the tide in the media just yesterday. Big names all over the world are embracing freedom. Kanye West. We've got politicians in America. I mean, hell, Kanye was on Tucker Carlson last night, if anyone watches that. I don't see how anyone can argue that the tide is turning against us. They act like they're winning. Oh, the passports are going, the mandates are going, that means we lost. No, people treat it like we lost when we took that. That is a victory. The opening of the border is a first step to freedom. They're taking their boots off the neck only to stamp it down again. But we're too quick for that. We got back up, and the Canadian people have already gotten back up on their feet, and they've already begun to rebuild. But we need to maintain our haste, and we need to stand free and united and work together. Because if we don't work together, if we don't cooperate with conservatives, with members of the PPC, with independents, with people like Mr. Van der Zam, Mr. Bernier, my personal family doctor who spoke earlier, Dr. Kevin Slater, if we don't speak in the name of freedom, if we don't listen to each other and work with each other, and we don't organize like Marcella and James, or PPC candidates like Kimberly, or everyone here in this crowd, you're all patriots and you're all heroes. We have defied the odds, and we have stood free while we have managed to reclaim our nation. There are good people from every walk of life in this crowd. I don't see any consistency. Everyone here is different. But we're different and we're united in the name of freedom, in the name of liberty, and in the name of putting Canada first. So I'm gonna round off my speech with a chant I like to do at the end of all of my speeches. Everybody get loud. Make it so they can hear you in Ottawa. Say it with me. Canada first, Canada first, Canada first, Canada first. Fingers up. Canada first, Canada first, Canada first, Canada first. Thank you. And for the record, fuck Trudeau!
Smart kid. A little on the statist side, but that's okay.
Yeah, I do too. How about that guy, right? I'm going to tell you right now that he is going to be one of the prominent political figures in the future in British Columbia. And I'm really proud to have him at our Stand United events every single time. Ben Sharma! Okay, so here it is. Now we've got Anna Kinney and Dr. Biz. She's retired, and we've got a practitioner here, so from Campbell River as well. I'm not sure exactly where you're from. Pemberton, BC, and we have had both of these individuals at our events. Dr. Biz was at our first College of Physicians event. Anna Kinney has been at both of our other previous events, and it's always a real pleasure to have you up here speaking your truth and informing the people and sticking up for all of us. So thank you very much. Give them a big round of applause!
Thank you, everyone. This is a rally in downtown Vancouver, in front of the College of the Physicians and Doctors.
I flew this morning from Campbell River because I think this is such an important event, and especially that it's in front of the college. Yeah. My question today is, are the colleges, the medical colleges, moving in the right direction?
No.
So we got a memo from the college probably a couple of months ago about informed consent and how important informed consent is. Ironically, the college here is still censoring and punishing physicians that provide informed consent, physicians that raise the alarm on side effects of the vaccinated, and punishing doctors that prescribe off-label medications that have peer-reviewed data behind them. So any questioning of the provincial or federal mandates, you get a letter from this college about providing mis or disinformation. When you get the letter from the college, it's not because a patient complains about what you've done. It's because of what you're doing, meaning providing informed consent. So again, I want to ask you, are the medical colleges moving in the right direction?
No. Definitely not.
So let me, nope, I'm looking for my page.
Here.
This is really an important paragraph I actually want to read. There we go, I found it. So let me read out this memo from the College of Physicians of Ontario. This memo was to the Physicians of Ontario. Quote, "It is also important that physicians work with their patients to handle anxieties related to the vaccine and not enable avoidance behavior. In cases of serious concern, use of prescription medications and or referral to psychotherapy are advisable. Overall, physicians have a responsibility to allow their patients to be properly informed about vaccines and not have those anxieties empowered by exemptions." So let me paraphrase you. If a 24-year-old comes in, male, whose brother is 31, had myocarditis after his second shot, and obviously he's concerned. So he comes to see me and asks me, should I get my second jab?
Oh, I know somebody who had it.
What I should be doing by what the Ontario College is saying, I should be saying, well, you seem to be a little bit nervous about this jab. Let me give you a prescription for some Ativan. And maybe a little bit of psychotherapy. And that way, I'll coerce him to get the jab. This is what the Ontario College of Physicians is doing, sent the memo out. One of our previous speaker talked about the California situation, right? Again, where the governor has signed into law, basically has legislated that if you provide mis or disinformation, the medical college can suspend your license. So now, politics has entered medicine, officially.
Really bad.
So, today by being here, you're helping us physicians that are speaking out, because we do need your help. Some of our colleagues are actually still being suspended for talking or giving informed consent or prescribing off-label medications. Some are very good physicians in BC, 50 in our group, the CSSEM, that have petitioned the government. Some of these excellent physicians are not able to work because they haven't been jabbed.
Good for them.
And here we are in a crisis where we're closing emergencies because we don't have enough physicians.
Take the money.
Shame. Shame.
Shame.
So ways to help: do what you're doing today. Attend rallies. Pass on your knowledge. Most of you, I'm sure, have read, not through mainstream media, but through alternative media and through physicians that are actually open to the counter narrative. Pass on your knowledge. Write to the college. The college, they're not accountable. They're sitting there making these sort of, putting these pressures on these good physicians, and they don't feel the pressure from patients complaining. So the more complaints they get the better.
Do they know?
And the other thing that's very important is the CSSEM.org, and I've got pamphlets if anybody's interested, has petitioned Bonnie, Henry, and Dicks in terms of the mandates, meaning that they cannot work in hospital setting because of these mandates. And we're the only province, including Nova Scotia, in all of Canada that has not rehired these physicians. So if you want to help, just look through the CSSEM.org and read through it, and if you can, donate. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Biz. I'm a retired physician. I spent over 45 years GPing in northern BC, and I'm now retired, of course, as I just mentioned. But I just want to bring this down to a more personal, compassionate, perhaps grassroots level, based on a recent experience I've had, and that was purely that myself and my husband decided to go back for a 2 or 3 week holiday to visit friends and people that I know in Smithers. Happened to bump into Charles and Stephen there on their tour, and did the evening with them there, with people I knew. So the first thing was that this tour, to inform people and to validate people who have vaccine injuries, was enormously welcomed and so appreciated. People were bringing us boxes of organic fruit, and I have lists of people who were so appreciative. So that was first thing, and the important information that these two doctors spread was wonderful. But what really was hard was most of the people there in that room were either vaccine injured themselves and were starting to realize the implication of that to their families and the rest of their lives, or were there gathering information for family members or friends who they suspected or knew were vaccine injured.
My ribs still hurt from that. I'm just watching the chat.
That's an incredibly sad thing, and certainly in my career of over 45 years, never seen that many people in one room in such a predicament. But beyond that, I went to visit friends. Some very bizarre things happened during my 10 days in Smithers.
A couple more legs to get us to 500.
Were something that I can't really say for sure related to the vaccines, but I sure wonder. One was that a young school bus driver, young meaning under 40 and healthy, suddenly collapsed at the wheel while he was driving a bus full of children. Luckily, a 14-year-old boy on that bus had the presence of mind to jump up, grab the wheel, and push the brake. Those children probably would have been in a dreadful accident. God knows what would have happened to them. What on earth was that about? Certainly in my career, living up there, I'd never heard anything like it up there. But then, 24 hours later, I was sitting in a cafe, Main Street, Smithers, with my husband. Right in front of our nose, a 3/4 ton pickup truck landed on a telephone pole, and had that pole not been there, it would have gone right into that cafe. We ran outside to see what was going on, and there was a gentleman, probably in his late 50s, sitting there absolutely obtunded, meaning he wasn't aware, he wasn't responding, just out of the blue. Must have had a stroke, some neurological event, we don't know. But these sort of things, if you open your ears and eyes, are starting to happen rather frequently. And I can't help but say that in my mind, I have the question. When we have vaccine injuries that are very frequently neurological events, very frequently myocardial events, God knows what else, it does make one wonder, and I think this is only the beginning of what we're going to see. I also visited friends, one I can think of very specifically, an older gentleman, I would say in his 60s, a rancher, a trucker. a logger, tough old guy, and he never had arthritis. He took me aside when I went out to take a look at his horses. He's very proud of his horses he breeds. And he took his hand and he went like this and he says, "Biz, do you think this has something to do with those treatments?" And I said, "What do you mean treatments?" He said, "You know, those things, jabs." Since I had my second jab, he showed me his hands, and he had normal hands before. And last time I saw him was maybe in May of this year. His fingers were twice normal size. They were clawed, both of them, and he said, "I cannot use my hands usefully anymore." He's a trucker. He's a farmer. I mean, this is what's going on out there. So I just want to read you something that I just received half an hour ago. This was an Indigenous woman who was jabbed early on, refused any further inoculations as she was a little concerned. She did develop neurological side effects. She has personality disorder issues now. She is really difficult with movements and whatever, and a lot of pain. She lost her job. She lost her home. She was living in her car for the last month until it got so cold. She moved into the local Indigenous and poverty-stricken people's tent city. And this is what I got today from her, and it says, "I am pretty sure I don't want to keep living this sad existence. Just so severely impoverished and so sad. I've been at this tent city now for 1 week. I cannot stand anymore." So I just wanted to pass that on. This is sort of a little different from the talks you've been hearing, but you know, whatever is going on is having a huge impact on the welfare of our communities. Open your eyes, listen, learn what you can, spread the word, because we just need to stop this. We definitely need to stop this. Thanks.
All right. If you're just tuning in, guys, we're at a rally here in downtown Vancouver, just outside of the College of the Physicians and Doctors. There's a number of nurses, there's doctors, there's politicians, there's a bunch of people speaking here. Earlier we had Bill Vander Zalm, former Premier of British Columbia, Bill Vander Zalm, and we got Maxime Bernier coming up. We got Dr. Hoff. I've interviewed all of these people. A lot of people were impressed by that 16-year-old kid, smart kid. I've heard him give speeches before. Just speaks right off the cuff, right from the heart. A little status, as some of you have pointed out, but that's okay. You know what they say the difference between status and an anarchist is? About 6 months worth of research. Let's move on through. Hey, maybe we'll talk to him right now. I think Rebel's about to interview him.
I'd like to say that I think I've tried the VPD, so the Vancouver Police Department.
You know, I should probably end the stream at some point and
that somebody in a uniform
get my camera out, my mic out, and do some solid interviews.
To our people to invite them in to speak on behalf of the people they serve.
If she's gonna, maybe they're done.
So this is something I want to address.
Yeah, I guess Rebel's gonna interview him right now, so we'll get him later.
We had absolutely zero response.
No, it's all good. Hey, good.
When you ask a police officer,
so you guys can catch this on Rebel News a little later.
They're not allowed to speak to the public on written law.
Yeah, we'll get an interview with this kid later. Over here we have looks like Laura Lynn, Tyler Thompson interviewing Maxime Bernier, or at least she was.
Probably. We have to stand. We have to tell them that
Laura Lynn.
Right in the face.
Informed consent is law. The College of Physicians and Surgeons, the reason why we came to this event the very first time, and this is the first thing that came to my head right there, this hockey photo of the Oilers. Now that's at the playoffs. So it says, here's the science, and you can see that little corner picture of the doctor office with 3 people sitting in the muscles. I mean, how many doctors are in the muscles?
Thank you.
You did a segment once at the Gateway Pacific.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
that was. Oh, really?
Yeah,
that was pretty intense.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Is it still closed? You know, or
I'm not sure. Not that I know of. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, but they dropped the tickets, so that was good. Yeah. Hey, good. How are you? Cool. All right. Okay, guys. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're at this rally in front of the College of the Physicians and Doctors in downtown Vancouver. Probably about 300, maybe 400 people or so who are here now. They got this big bus here. Justice for the Vaccinated bus, which is pretty awesome. It has a lot of personal stories, it looks like, of people being injured.
Congratulations in court, Dan.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you won that pretty handedly, didn't you?
With the quarantine hotel ticket? Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I couldn't be there, but I was working that day.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really glad we didn't have to deal with that, and Judge just dropped it.
Oh, it was just BS anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Good. Just live streaming right now. So, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, take care.
Yeah. So that's a couple people now saying, congrats on winning the court case. If you guys don't know what happened there, I went down to a secret quarantine hotel in Richmond, Vancouver, and ended up, being detained by the police and fined under the Quarantine Act. And it was just absolutely ridiculous situation where they created this whole ruse to get me outside and then called the police. It was just crazy. Anyways, the judge ended up dropping the tickets, just saying like, this is crazy, and dropped the tickets. So it was a big victory. That is a very excited little puppy. I'm a sucker for dogs. So again, we probably got like a good 300 people maybe here. No doubt the mainstream media is going to say there's like a couple of dozen, but nah, there's probably 300 or so.
Right. Stand United at BC.ca. So take a picture of that. We have our PDF on that website. It's our informed consent documentation. 63 pages. Print it off. They're rolling out this next vaccination. What did they test? They tested 8 mice. Right? Does that make you feel pretty confident about going and injecting these new vaccines into your kids? And maybe think about this. You can print out that informed consent documentation, take it as your pharmacist, and you can say, do you feel like you've been fair and informed consent with your clients
So right now we have Maxime Bernier on deck. I think there's one more speaker actually after him, James, and then it's going to be Bernier. I'm just walking up here to where they have the street closed off, and a lot of these guys with their signs are up here trying to get people to know that this rally is happening and handing out information, as you can see, and getting people to honk, all that good stuff. Thanks for sharing on Discord and everywhere. All right, got these guys.
If you love freedom, honk if you hate tyranny. Woo! Come join your family once again, Canadians.
Yeah. So, got Howe Street essentially shut down between Dunsmuir and Georgia for a couple hundred people. As you can see, I got a lot of speakers today. I'll show you actually. Okay, who do we got? Blair Coleman, vaccine injured person. Trina Rose, vaccine injured person. Ian Glass, a nurse. Kevin, doctor, a doctor. Bill Vanderzam, ex-premier of BC. He had a good speech. Again, if you haven't seen my interviews with them, check it out. Kara McMinn, vaccine injured, rode across Canada. Yvonne Coelho, hospital entrance. Ben, maybe that kid's name is Ben, it just says youth. Group photo, yeah, so Ben is the kid's name, the dapper kid in green. James and Marcella, they're the organizers of the event. And then he's speaking right now. So Maxime Bernier, I believe, is on deck. He's going to be up after Marcella. And we got Ordessa and her husband Norb. We have Todd Harrison, Laura Lynn, Tyler Thompson, Carrie Simpson, Karen Coble, Dr. Ann Kindy, Dr. Hoff. I've interviewed Dr. Hoff, Anita Krisha, Chris Vleck, and Vlad Sobolev. So there it is. That's the speakers list for today. All right, so after this girl's speech, we're going to hear Maxime Bernier's speech, and then I might end this stream so I can get some videos in the bag. I'll get an interview with that kid. Maybe Bill, maybe Maxime, we'll see. But typically after these types of events, when they're done talking, they get swarmed by the crowd. So it might be tricky.
When I share, if you want to hear something that is just straight up truth for the grandma, for the mama, you'll find me on Facebook and have a listen to my story. Today I'm going to be sharing a case called Squamish BC V8B.
Somebody says you need that one interview that you wanted with the kid. Oh, hey, dude. Got Brighton in the house. Did you come down just from seeing this stream?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I saw your picture and I was like, oh, there's an event going on today. And I realized, I forgot to pay my phone bill last night.
Oh.
I get looking split and now I'm here. So.
Nice, nice, nice. You streaming right now?
Yeah, streaming right now. It's good to make sure to follow James.
At one time, yeah.
Yeah, we both helped one another out and now we're here. And I'm quite surprised by the turnout. How about you?
Yeah, not bad. I'm sure the media is going to say there's 24 people here, but you know, that's how they do. Give a shout. Tell people where you're streaming right now.
Brighton's Thoughts.
Brighton's Thoughts.
Brighton's Thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, usually it used to be my name, but I was like, no, I need something a little more pizzazz.
Yeah.
Tell the truth, but also give my opinion at the same time. And of course, you guys being grown adults, you make the decision on what is the truth and what isn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course. And hopefully, I will be able to do a live stream. Yesterday was crazy.
Well, we're kind of doing a live stream together right now.
I just did a live stream in the last 6 hours.
Wow.
I was talking with Scott Ritter. Have you ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, former Weapons Inspector in Iraq. He's been talking a lot about Ukraine stuff. And he's a former military intelligence officer. And he was telling a lot lot about like who's rise to power, current situation, what comes next. Like, is the West hell-bent on nuclear apocalypse? I mean, I can give you the answer yes.
Right.
But no, we went on for like 6 hours. It was quite incredible.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, so hopefully this will also start a trend of like getting a lot of people together, because I love being solo, I love talking to my fans, but when we're able to achieve freedom all together,
Yeah.
it's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. Sweet. Well, I think Maxime Bernier's on deck. He's going up to speak now. So, yeah, he's going to be speaking in a couple of minutes, I think. So, yeah. Yeah, totally. So, again, Brighton thoughts. Young guy, smart guy, streams all the time. Check out his channel. And I'm going to scooch up into position and we'll catch this Bernier speech.
Relates to their charter rights. CSAS alleges that its alternative proposals reflect a superior approach taken in order. Taken in other provinces elsewhere around the world, much less intrusive on healthcare workers' rights. In my view, this raises substantial questions that let the threshold clearly not frivolous. In my view, CSAS's reconsideration request and allegations regarding the reconsidered response show.
What do you think of my plan? I'm going to continue streaming, catch Maxime Bernier's speech, and then maybe end the stream so I could get this camera and tripod and microphone and everything out of my backpack and start banging out a couple of interviews. We'll get that kid, we'll get maybe Bernier, maybe Vanderzam. What do you think, guys? Keep going, says Martin. Sounds good, thanks, Dan. You know, it's possible to keep going if I hand off my live stream to somebody. If I, you know, find somebody who might be able to help me out, we could do that. I'm just paying attention to the speakers now because they're going to announce Bernier soon, and you know, I'm not. Those of you who know me know I don't follow any political party. I don't advocate for voting. I've actually never ever voted before, not once in my life have I taken part in this selection process of picking the next guy who's going to be the tyrannical leader. So, but I still like to talk to these guys. You know, I interview politicians all the time. I like to hear what they have to say. One of my favorites is an American politician, Ron Paul. Like, you know, I've always loved pretty much everything that guy has to say. Interviewed him a number of times too. Yeah, got nothing against filming their speeches and doing interviews and stuff like that. Got a car trying to get through. I don't know where he came from. Oh, he must have came from the hotel. This is just up where they have the road closed off. And there's a few protesters just hanging out up here. Cool. Thank you. All right, we're doing pretty good on the thumbs up, guys. I think I see there's over 200 people, but we got like 571 thumbs up. Good job. Keep smashing that like button, guys. You know, this channel is so heavily shadow banned. I've got like 270,000 subscribers, and I get, what, a couple hundred people tuning in at any given time? It's crazy. My BitChute channel has like 40,000 subscribers, and I get more views over there than I do on this YouTube channel with 250,000 subscribers or more. So it's so very heavily shadow banned. I would much rather be going live on other platforms that are not likely to censor this info, but on a lot of those platforms, I'm kind of preaching to the choir. You know, there's the people who need to hear this stuff the most are here on YouTube, and not only that, some of the other platforms don't really have it all together just yet. I was trying to do some live streaming for Odyssey, but the streams failed, or I'd get home and I wouldn't be able to, you know, the restream would just be gone or whatever. So it just hasn't been reliable. I know Rumble is doing live streaming now, and I'm certainly going to try doing some live streaming on Rumble. I don't know if they have an app maybe that you can start, you know, live streaming from your phone kind of in situations like this. Not sure about that yet, but I figured I'd go here on YouTube for now. No chat on Rumble, but good for saving videos. Okay. How you doing, man? Good, good, good. So I caught your speech on the live stream, and a lot of the people in the audience were very, very impressed. I want to get an interview with you later, maybe like with my camera.
I'm down whenever, yeah.
But yeah, tell some.
Do I have your contact information?
I'll
give you my I'll give you your card.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, what brought you out here today?
Well, what originally brought me out here was, you know, Canadian patriotism, of course, is a very important thing, and really the need, because of, you know, I've grown up in this greater area all my life. Yeah. You know, Vancouver. Also, I saw someone in the chat ask what students is. We're in Vancouver at the College of Physicians and Surgeons.
Yeah.
So, I think the important thing, the really important thing when it comes down to it, is Canadian values, Canadian culture, the economy, the politicians. We need term limits. Number one thing, we need term limits.
Yeah.
On the House, on the Senate, on everything, we need term limits. Our MPs need to be held accountable for the corruption, and we need to really make that effort to take back the country from the globalists that control it. And I have a slogan to put Canada first. This finger up, Canada first. Not to be mistaken with the whatever Canada First Party. This is a People's Party of Canada, Canadian patriots, a blend of libertarians, nationalists, people who want to save this country and who really want to help us regain the control that we've lost and that have been taken from us. And great people like him, great people like Mr. Bernier, Mr. Van der Zam, people like myself, everyone in this crowd have done amazing things for this country, for this movement. And, you know, as I get older, I'm 16, as I get older, as I get closer to running age, whatever comes of it, I'm probably going to run. Well, yeah, no neocons, all paleocon energy, Groiper energy. I'm gonna name them.
Right on, man.
Of course.
Cool. Well, yeah.
Do I have your card?
I'm not sure if I gave it to you yet. I don't even know if I have any on me right now.
I'll just tell you what. Let me go to my contacts here. Oh, yeah, I can put yourself in there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah. Canada's back, baby. We're back. We're all gonna be up. Yo, Nick, I see it. It's good. It's really good to be a part of the winning side. Yeah, Canada first.
Sweet.
Nardwar. Oh, that's great.
What is that?
Hey, Dad, someone just said Nardwar's son in the chat. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
From all levels of government during the past 2 years.
All right. Like I said, smart kid. He just texted me, so I got his number now. He's got mine, and I'm sure he'll be around for the rest of the day. What's that?
We did the 1 star last week, and it's Nardwar.
Oh, no way. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. What are the odds?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were walking around on the Canadian Hall of...
Oh, right on. That's hilarious.
It's the only picture we took of a star was Nardwar. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta go for the style.
Yeah.
Somebody else said you look like Angus
All the way from Quebec.
And has to be sang.
Yeah. They just wanted to run up to tell me that they just happened to be on like the Canada's little Walk of Fame of stars, and they took one picture and it was Nardwuar. Anyways, what were we saying? At any rate, guys, we got almost 600 thumbs up. 222 people tuned in, almost 600 thumbs up. Just hit it now. Thank you so much for smashing that like button, guys. Jonas says, what's the gathering for? This is a rally outside of the College of the Physicians and Doctors of BC, because there are a lot of nurses and doctors who are struggling right now. The whole health industry in Canada is hurting because they don't have enough workers. Big part of the reason for that is because a lot of them wouldn't take the experimental mRNA technology, so they were canned. And so, and also a lot of them were, reprimanded for spreading so-called conspiracies or whatever. It's just insane. So, even though a lot of the mandates have been lifted as of lately, there are still a lot of people dealing with stuff. I just interviewed a lady earlier on this stream who was had her bosses at Canada Post trying to force her to wear a mask, and when she refused to, they called the police. Police came and physically assaulted her and, messed up some of the nerves in her arm. This kind of stuff happens all the time. It's still going on. So we got about 200 or 300 people here coming out to voice their displeasure with what we've seen, and a lot of these people understand that this isn't over. That's why I titled this stream that. Because indeed it isn't. I mean, we're really just in the calm of the storm, the eye of the hurricane, and at this stage in the game, everybody's being so conditioned that a year might go by, maybe even a couple of years might even go by, maybe not that long, but even if a few years goes by and then all of a sudden they introduce some sort of new variant, new big scary variant, everybody's already so conditioned to just don those masks, to run out and roll up their sleeve. And it'll happen quickly next time. So this isn't even anywhere near over right now. So right now we got some of the organizers who are speaking at this event, and I caught a speech from Bill Van Der Zam earlier, and Maxime Bernier is going to be going up next, I believe. So I want to hang out a little bit close to the stage. We'll listen to his speech. He's always pretty, riveting speaker. So let's go up. Let's get in position, because I think they're probably going to call him in soon. Guys, don't forget to go to pressfortruth.ca. You can PayPal me, dan@pressfortruth.ca, or you can do e-transfers, dan@pressfortruth.ca. I used to be able to get super chats here, but completely demonetized, not able to do that. So, dan@pressfortruth.ca.
I just want to step up and do what I humanly can do. If you can step up and run for politics and get in there and make change happen, please do it. I saw Amrit here. He's here somewhere. He was a PPC candidate right there in the purple shirt. He ran last year in the federal election. I did as well, under the PPC party. Jeremy, I see Jeremy McKenzie sign back there. Kimberly Brundell. You guys, if you can get on your city's council, your school board, your PAC, whatever, get in there and stand up for your children, for your grandchildren, for our communities. We need a safe and healthy environment, mentally and physically, for everybody. There will be no community raising my grandchildren. You know that expression, it takes a village to raise a child? No, not when we have MAP happening in society. Not on my watch. And it shouldn't be on your watch either. We cannot sit idly by. People like these people need to be held accountable. Your city councilmen need to be held accountable. These are the people that represent the citizenry in each city, in municipalities, in our province, and federally. Will you support them in their upcoming elections? All right. Now we have a phenomenal man coming up. So So we attended a Maxime Bernier rally in White Rock sometime in August, and you know, we just went to listen. And James was like, "Okay, well, let's serve him informed consent." So we actually already registered, mailed him the informed consent package that we have, and then we got there and.
Well, we had to serve Maxime Bernier in person, so it worked out really great, and we made a great impression with him. We ended up going out for dinner that night. I talked his ear off for a good hour, and let him know that we'd be more than pleased to have him at one of our events. He got in touch with us, and I figured it was time for us to come back to the College of Physicians and Surgeons again. It's time to get this coffin nailed down shut, and who better to have here than Maxime Bernier?
Woo! Yeah!
No copyrighted music. No, that's gonna kill the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope this doesn't kill the stream. I'm gonna get a copyright strike now. And it might kill the stream.
Indoctrination in the classroom.
Trying to like mute it.
Teachers leave our kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone.
Oh my God, what a nice intro. Yes. Leave us alone. Yeah, my God. We are fighting for that. You know, you are here today because like me, you know that freedom is what unites us. Without freedom, there's no human dignity, equality of rights, and prosperity. Now, today I just want to discuss two things with you. First, yes, speaking about freedom, but also about tenacity. So, what we did the last 2 years together, we fought for our freedom of choice, and we said all together, all across the country, and I must admit that we were at that time maybe a French minority. I remember the first rally that I did in March 2020 in Montreal. We were about 400 people on the street, and I did other rallies across the country, and you did the same thing, rallies in big cities, in small towns the last 2 years, and that was tough because people were looking at us, and the mainstream media told us, called us names like French minority, racist, xenophobes, and all these crazy names. But we know that was not true because we fought for what we believe based on facts and on reason and on the reality. And now, yes, because of you, we are not a French minority anymore. And I want to give you an example of that. I have a dog, Cooper, a poodle, and in Montreal, sometime when I'm there, I'm in charge of Cooper, and I have to go to the dog park. So in March 2020, I was with Cooper in the dog park, and he was running, and my wife, Catherine, the week after that, went to the same dog park, and she saw a lady, and the lady came and said to my wife, I saw your husband, Maxime Bernier, he was with that dog.
I want to say, poor you. That must be very difficult to be with a crazy guy like your husband. That was the reality. I was crazy at that time. You were crazy at that time. But look what happened. 2 months ago, I was in the dog park with my Cooper, and the lady came and she saw me 2 months ago, and she started to have a discussion with me. And she started the discussion. She said, Maxime, you know that I'm double vax? I said, no, I don't know, and I don't want to know. But she said, I'm double vax, but I just want to tell you, I won't take the 3rd or the 4th shots. That's it for me. Now she's on our side. And she said, what they're doing to kids, pushing the shots to our kids when, you know, COVID-19, that's not dangerous for kids, and we know that. She said, I don't understand why governments are doing that to our kids. So I was very happy with that discussion. And you know what happened also? 3 weeks ago in Quebec, they did a poll. You know, these establishment politicians, they're just looking at polls and focus group to know what to say. They're not doing politics based on convictions and principles. So they wanted to know if Quebecers, if vaccinated Quebecers will take the 3rd shots or the 4th one. The good news is 69% of them said no thanks, we won't take another shot.
Right on.
So because of freedom fighters, because of you, we were able to shift the public opinion on our side. But we need to work because the job is not finished. Here today, people that took the shots, and for them, they had injuries because of that. People today that are not able to go back to their job because of their medical personal decision. People were and are still persecuted because they decided not to have an experimental medical treatment in their body. They cannot go back to work. I'm thinking about people in our Canadian forces. I'm thinking about nurses all across the province here and other workers that are not able to go back to their jobs because of their medical personal decision. They must be able to go back with a full compensation. And that's why we are here today. We are with you. We will fight until everybody will be able to do what they want to do with their life, to work, to decide if they want to have a medical treatment or not, when our Constitution will be respected. We will do that fight until the end.
Yeah.
So,
Right on.
I'm telling you, we need you. Canadians need you. Because you had the courage of your conviction the last 2 years, because you spoke to your friends, to your family, to your co-workers about the situation. You were out there, standing up, speaking out for what you believe. And that's why I want to thank you. But I'm telling you, we must push and speaking out there. There's still people that don't understand the situation. They don't know because actually you know that the mainstream media is canceling us. Yes. So I want to thank all the alternative and independent media that are here today. Thank you. Yeah, I remember the one rally that I did in Vancouver. Somebody was saying, turn off the TV, turn on your brain. That's what we did. Yes. So, that fight, it's a long fight because it's a cultural revolution. It's a common sense revolution that we must have in this country. I'm very pleased that you have some establishment politicians now in Ottawa, part of the Conservative Party of Canada, that are saying like us, more freedom. Yeah, that's great, because it's popular to speak about that. Just remember, a mainstream establishment politician, they will tell you what you want to hear, and they will look at the polls and the focus group to know what you want to hear. They are not doing politics based on convictions. What is the most important for establishment politicians is not to be on the right side of the argument, is to be on the side that is the most popular, because their goal is just to be elected without, when they are in government, without doing anything. You can count on us, and I'm very proud of all these freedom fighters across the country. We won't let you down. Now that revolution about COVID-19, I believe that we will win that fight sooner than later. But there's another revolution. Wokeism is everywhere. They are everywhere in school boards, municipalities, in the media, everywhere. So what I'm asking you, there's a municipal election here in BC and in Ontario in a week or two. We must have candidates that will fight for common sense. We must be there at the school boards, municipal levels, and do that common sense revolution together. I will encourage you to look at these candidates and ask them only one question. Is a boy or a boy can be a girl? That's a good question. There's only two sexes for us.
Yes.
Ask them the question, what is a woman? If they're not able to answer, you know that you cannot support these people. You must support people that will fight for common sense.
Yes.
So, I did that fight, and I remember when I was in Manitoba, I think it was in summer 2021, I did a rally over there, and I was arrested, handcuffed, and put in jail for 12 hours because I was fighting for what I believe is right for this country. And when the police arrested me, he asked me a question. Do you have something that can hurt me? You know, I was surprised. I'm a politician. The only thing I have is my words. And I said, only my words, only my philosophy, only what I believe in. That's why we will be able to win, because we will speak to people about what we believe openly, peacefully, with passion and conviction, and we will be able to win that battle. I want to end with a quote from John F. Kennedy. And John F. Kennedy said, and I believe that some of you know that what he said in 1962 when he was elected. He said, in the long history of the world, only few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its maximum hour of danger. You are that generation. This is your role, and now is the time. We will defend our freedoms. We will stay strong and free, and we will do that revolution peacefully.
Yeah, for sure.
We will be able to regain our country together. And I want to thank you for doing that fight with us. Stay strong and free. Thank you.
All right. So, that was Maxime Bernier, leader of the People's Party of Canada. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, it's a rally been happening here all day in downtown Vancouver, just outside of the College of the Physicians and Doctors. I filmed Bill Vander Zam's speech, Maxime Bernier's speech, and a few others. And yeah, I got a couple of interviews off the cuff with some people on the grounds. I didn't bring my battery pack with me this time. I didn't think I'd be live streaming for quite this long, but I'm running out of juice, so I may call this one. But I do have, you know, my gear on me. I got my my DSLR, my microphone and stuff, so I might grab a few interviews here before I go. But I just wanted to bring this one to you live here today, guys. Again, big rally. I would say 200 to 300 people for sure. You know, if this gets any kind of coverage from the MSM, no doubt they're going to say there was like 24 people. But that's why I like to come out and show you what's really going on here. We are not far off from hitting 700 thumbs up. Thank you guys for clicking that like button. If you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do that now. And also, don't forget, you can e-transfer me or PayPal me, dan@pressfortruth.ca. Again, this channel is completely demonetized. I could remonetize this if I wanted to, but I'm absolutely not gonna do it. I would rather you know, have this direct relationship with you guys. So if you do feel like contributing, dan@pressfortruth.ca. You can do an e-transfer to there, or you can send PayPal, or just check me out at pressfortruth.ca/donate, and there's a whole bunch of options there as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's always so fun to hang out with you guys here live. Sending an e-transfer, Dan. Thank you so much, Jane. Really do appreciate that. Again, I can't continue to do this kind of work without you guys, so thank you so much for that. Hi, Diane Fresca. Ruby says thanks. I'm starving. I gotta get something to eat and get some interviews in the bag. So that's it for today, guys. Go back and watch the stream from earlier. Hi, that's okay. Hi, good, thanks. Yeah, head on over and watch the rest, you know, anything that you missed. Got some good speeches, good interviews earlier. And John says, thanks, be well. 697, come on, three more, guys. And not that I care so much about this particular platform, but, you know, we're preaching to the choir elsewhere, and this is where people need to hear it the most, so I thought I'd go live here today. All right, guys. Signing out. Thanks again for being here with me. Thank you for the e-transfer. Really greatly appreciated. If anybody else wants to do that, again, dan@pressfortruth.ca. All right, guys. Keep fighting the good fight. Take care.